marketing, entrepreneurship, and all things small business. You're listening to the Jurassic Marketing's Triceratops. Now, here's your host, Justin Miller.
All right, we are rocking and rolling this year. Have we missed a week yet?
We've not. This is like a record.
Woo!
We're right on pace.
This is a serious deal. There's a lesson there. Something like you pay money and then actually pay attention to something.
true.
So
I'm actually looking at your shirt thinking that might be the best one of all the collection.
I don't know.
I like that one a lot because it's got the blues and the tones and the hues. I like it.
It's in the Jurassic jungle here of the studio.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about we need some more decor, more plants, but that is not the podcast topic today.
How to buy plants for your office. No.
It is how to buy.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about how to buy marketing services, which I get sounds completely self-serving. That's
This is where I just put your number and email at the over the entire screen.
That's not what we got going on here. But the reason this came up is really when I'm working with our sales team and listening to calls and Zoom meetings and stuff, a lot of prospects come into those meetings saying the wrong things. And I realize you don't think you could do that as a prospect, but were I a little less ethical in the way we sell here, a lot of people give us too much leniency. And it's because they don't know how to buy these services. Likely they haven't before, or they come saying, hey, I've worked with other agencies and I've got screwed over, which we translate to something else when you say that. And there really is a right or a wrong way to set yourself up for not only success, but getting the most value out of your investment with a marketing agency.
I think it's interesting. I would have thought you'd have more of the I know what I'm doing, but I can't get the right results, so fix it for me, as opposed to I'll just ask the wrong questions and hope that you drive me the right direction.
Yeah, and we'll talk through it, but a lot of people come and have no idea what they want.
So not only they don't know how to do it, they also don't know what they want the end result to be.
Right. So a complete lack of clarity on what they're trying to. Basically, they come in with 20 different ways that an unethical agency could take advantage of them, and then it's often followed up with, "I've worked with so and so and so and so, and I got nothing. I got ripped off." Well, we're gonna teach you how to not be the victim today.
I just want more business. Can you help me?
Yeah,
those got to be the worst.
I mean, that's a start.
Yeah.
But if it stops there and you cut a check, that probably was kind of.
I just trust you.
Up.
Just do it for me. I mean, what can go wrong?
Here is the other challenge specific to marketing agency world, and it tarnishes everyone that's doing a good job with marketing agency work, but it is full of snakes. So a lot of agency owners have learned how to sell their own services, but not how to either deliver or get the results they're promising for their clients. So it's really difficult because they've learned how to sell, obviously, but that doesn't necessarily translate to them selling for you. And I see that a lot. It's like, oh, I learned enough about marketing, I can start a marketing agency, or I'll sell this service and I'll figure it out as I go.
Well, we've had this conversation in your previous episodes. Not all leads are created equal. I would rather have 10 really good qualified leads from a company like yours than 1,000 leads from somebody who's like, we'll do this for you. We'll just get you leads. Well, what kind of leads are they?
The worst part is let's sign a retainer for several $1,000s and figure it out as we go.
We'll get you more leads next month.
You're my education fund.
Yeah.
And that it happens, unfortunately, more often than you would think. And there's a lot of people teaching people how to do consulting out there. That's pretty much it. The hardest part is getting the customer. Maybe, but but Jesus, if you don't know how to deliver.
It's kind of funny in the radio industry from my years in radio programming. One of the cliches in the radio community is if you don't know how to do it, you become a consultant.
Yeah.
Or if you've done it before and you're kind of okay at it, but you don't want to do it anymore, you become a consultant and tell other people what to do.
Absolutely. There's a lot more vulgar examples of that exact same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, those who can't teach, I guess, is the simple
version. Those who can't teach,
right?
yeah.
Here's some things to look out for. Okay? And I say these with the caveat that they work really well in marketing. So we've used these phrases in marketing, but they should at least exercise caution if you hear it. The first one is done for you. You know, if it's, I'm going to do everything for you. We get people that come in and, you know, they're exploring our service and they tell us, oh, we've hired so-and-so to do all our marketing. And you just gave them the blank check and said, go. And you can't, we'll get more details here as we go, but you can't like get rid of the whole responsibility of an entire department function. That doesn't work. Guaranteed ROI sounds amazing.
That does sound great.
Right? But if this is actually marketing and advertising, there's really no guarantees. If there is, there's something a little off. Now, guarantees are very powerful marketing angles, and we have guarantees, but you'll note that it's not, you know, a 10-to-1 ROI. I don't know if you've been following like the AI news lately.
A little bit.
But there's like the Claude bot is the thing that's been getting all the news lately.
Yeah.
There's a couple notable examples. One of the Claude bots, so those that, I try not to get too geeky here, but essentially it's an AI model you can install on your own computer, so it's not cloud-based, and you can allow it permissions to deal with your files, your email, your programs. It can buy stuff, so whatever you want to do.
Great.
And it can do this fairly autonomously, which is really interesting. Obviously, this is the way it's going, and it'll be really interesting in the future where it goes, but it's in its infancy right now. So, so one of them had actually spent about $5,000 overnight, and the owner, I don't even know, I guess we're going to have a term eventually, the master.
Sure. Yeah.
The owner comes in and chats with it, and people have these AIs tied into where they can make phone calls and communicate with them and all kinds of stuff, but chats with it and says, did anything strange or obscure happen last night? The bot says, no. Well, what about this charge for $3,000? It's like, oh, that. Yes, that's not strange. I did the research and I enrolled us in this mastermind, and I checked it out. I did all the research. It all sounds great. It's guaranteed. We're gonna return our investment 10-to-1.
Nice.
And it had joined. I think it bought something for a course. It bought a course from Alex Hermosi, and it enrolled in someone else's mastermind for a few grand overnight.
I love it.
Because that was gonna solve everything.
Huh.
And it's just so funny because it's like I did the research online and it all checks out.
Wow.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, sure. So maybe like don't give the AI your credit card necessarily, but it sounded good, right? And that's why it works for marketing. I mean, I'm laughing because it's stupid that the AI, the robot, did it, but the humans do this too. So from that aspect, I guess it's scary correct. Mm-hmm. You know, the other kind of saying, the alarm bell saying is, you know, this worked for our last client, so it'll work for you.
Yeah. You're all the same.
I mean, yes, that's a good starting point. But you got to be aware if that's the sales promise. So really, entrepreneurs and small business owners, when they do this, they aren't really failing at marketing per se, but they're failing at buying marketing. And I buy marketing. We're a marketing agency and I buy marketing. So like, you know, I'm not like this channel's better than that channel. We've talked about that ad nauseum on the podcast.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have to know how to purchase those services to at least know that I'm not getting ripped off and that I'm getting a good ROI. So we're going to talk about how to think before you buy stuff. We're going to talk about those red flags, and we're going to talk about investing rather than gambling on marketing. I will admit it's a little bit of gamble element. That's kind of what makes it fun. You know?
Yeah, well, yeah. For a while, until you lose a lot. Yeah, for a while.
That's part of the entrepreneur game too. But you know, it's like this is the reason I don't gamble at the casino is because like so much money comes in and out of the business. Like, I think that's probably some of the same emotions that gamblers feel.
Yeah, you get excited, you get down.
Yeah,
you get excited again. You convince yourself that won't happen again.
Except for when I was 21 and like,
I'm
like if I go to the roulette table and just keep doubling my bet, when I walk in, there's a 99.8% chance that I'll come out ahead, but eventually you don't.
Okay.
And that's how the casino is.
You could write a book about that.
Someone would buy it. And
True.
How to eventually lose money gambling. All right, so let's start with the thoughts before you purchase the services. And the first thought is, don't start with, can I afford this? So there's spending and there's investing in marketing, and they're different mindsets, different mentalities.
That has to be, though, top, I think, for almost every small business owner who doesn't like to deal with buying ads or marketing. That's their first thought. Can I afford it? When a salesperson especially comes in and pitches them, I like your idea, but can I afford it? Versus, will it make me money? Is it my best investment? Is it the wisest choice of my dollars?
Well, look, the money matters.
It does.
Right? The money matters, but they're coming in with, we'll use my example, we'll use direct mail. So they're coming in with, can I afford $2,500 on this? $2,500. That would be a nice one.
It's a big
We're
campaign.
recording these after hours today.
It's a big campaign.
Can I afford like $2,500 a month? We'll go with that. But they haven't like set a criteria for a positive outcome. Like, what on earth are we trying to do with that? It's more like, I heard direct mail could work.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can afford to do it or not, or how much I can spend.
Are these the same people that when it doesn't immediately work because there's no real outcome, then they come back and tell you that it didn't work and they want to cancel?
Sometimes not. And I'm not saying that these people are stupid. Like, our clients are smart, successful business owners. I mean, don't read into this further than what I'm saying. But that's the mentality often, is they come in looking at the media rather than what on earth we're trying to do here. And that's actually difficult for our sales staff.
It has to be.
Because we're trying to hone in on an outcome and see if it's achievable and if the budget works with what you're trying to achieve. If there is no outcome, it's like, okay, in this example, we got $2,500 a month to spend and get whatever outcome we get. That's probably from the customer aspect, not how you want us looking at your account.
Yeah.
So what are we trying to do? And this is all media, all marketing, not just direct mail. But are we trying to generate leads? Are we trying to book appointments? Are we trying to get more referrals? Are we trying to actually sell something from the piece? Are we reactivating old clients? Or is this instilling trust and indoctrinating people? All valid goals.
What if I say I want all of those at the same time?
Then we go to budget.
Okay.
That's
because, I mean, I would see that there are some business owners who are like, well, yeah, I want all those things. Like, why can't you help me with that?
Yeah, and that's the problem. Because
but they don't know how they work together. They don't know which one comes first.
If they're expecting all of them, they're shooting at everything and going to hit nothing.
Yeah.
And if they don't come in with one, then, okay, we're going to pick the one for you.
Okay.
I mean, actually, that's probably the best thing we could do in that scenario is pick one for you.
Yeah.
Ideally, it's built into a larger vision of what you're trying to hit, and we can go from there and make sure that everything's fine. So, I mean, the marketing it's the tool. Like, it's not a lottery ticket. It's not like, put $2 in the Powerball and it hits or it doesn't. Like, this can be formulaic, and it should be, and we should be building systems. A lot of people, when they're buying marketing, they just aren't thinking that far into it.
Because they feel like it's something they have to do. And I would imagine often it falls, even though it can drive business success and it can drive retainment and all that, it's probably no different to some small business owners than I got to fix that broken light back there. And I got to hire a new person to clean the bathrooms and HR issue. I mean,
yeah, but those first two examples had finite outcomes, and that's what they're missing on these.
That's true. I mean...
So, I mean, if you don't know where you're going, I guess you're going to get there because you don't know.
Well, yeah, you're right, because you can decide, well, this seems like a reasonable place we ended up.
And you know what? There's plenty of marketers that are willing to take your money to take you there.
Yes.
And probably where you're going is to just enrich them. So, yeah, figure out where you want to go before you make the call. Next, and this almost never happens. Have you peeked ahead, or
No, I haven't. I didn't look ahead. But
all right. So if we got the outcome, what do you think the next piece of information that a buyer needs to know prior to having a conversation with a company rep?
After outcome. I mean, I immediately think budget, but
budget. That's
okay.
it.
All right.
No one has that when they come on the call. Nobody has thought about how much they can or are willing to spend for the outcome they set.
I think that's also why, as a salesperson, asking how much is your budget when someone's like, "Hey, I need a price on this." And
yeah.
what's your budget?
As a
is
consumer, you hate that, right? You
Yes.
think that's just so I can take every dime.
Yeah, like I don't know. Define how much money you really want me to spend. Do you want all of my money or just some of it?
I think I just sent an email to someone like that today that popped up. An acquaintance that's done business with us over the years, and they wanted to do a staff recruitment campaign. I won't say a whole lot more to not disclose them, but they wanted to do a staff recruitment campaign. I'm like, okay, we're not having that appointment yet. It's like, how large of net are you trying to cast? How many people do you need to hit? And what's your budget? Mm-hmm. If you come back to me and say, I got $500 to find my next rock star staff member in a competitive industry, we're not even going to talk.
Good luck. Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. And even like in my industry, the photo booth, the DJ, photography, I have gotten to the point where now for most of my stuff, pricing is on the website. I think for years that was never something that we would do. You probably did.
Yeah, I went back and forth on that. I don't think there's a right or wrong. You can go back.
I notice now that when they see pricing on there, there isn't they already then have an idea what their budget needs to be. It makes the sales process way easier than I thought it would be. I thought it would scare people off, and it probably does, but the people that do get through are the ones that I probably would have weeded to myself anyway. So I find it to be way easier to sell if they know going in that what their budget at least kind of needs to be.
Yeah, and I think patience is going less and less. So you have to be closer to the front end on that. They'll find it some way. But I guess we can go aside to that real quick. So you can always do starting at, so they at least know they're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
I used to not have it, but they could fill out a form and get the pricing immediately, instantly.
Yeah.
But they better believe that they're instantly getting it. That's getting even harder to do now, but for the right value proposition, it's still there. And I would encourage, if you're new to the selling of the service or it's a new market, I would encourage you to hide it so you can have the conversations, because there's value in the conversations with the prospects. And we have that right now with a newer market that we're going into, where we just haven't had the volume of conversations. We have the outcome. We know we can achieve the outcome, but that doesn't magically make the clients flood in for that service. So right now we're kind of hiding that, whereas in the future, it will probably be in the pre-appointment series, so they've already seen it before they come. And then the sales conversation is different. You know, I used to say to the reps in my old business, it's like, if they're sitting in front of you and they physically came in and they've got the prices, your job's not to screw it up.
Exactly. Your close rate should be pretty high.
Yeah.
Because you're right. You had them, we need to make an appointment. We got to come in. We got to go through this. If they got to that point, they were a client. You just needed to take their money and close them.
Yeah, we gave them some options, and we figured out what fit best, and there's always an opportunity for some upsell and cross-sell.
Yeah.
But, yeah, by and large, they had made the decision to buy, and even more so people do their homework up front. But buying marketing service is a little different, so I got to get back off this tangent here. This will be the longest episode we've ever had. All right, so budget. So here's what happens if you don't have a budget. Sales rep's going to guess.
Yep.
Chances of me guessing accurately, very low. I'm either going to oversell you because I need to meet my quota or my numbers.
Yep.
Or I think you have more budget or you're a larger size company, or I'm going to undersell you. Just as big a problem. Like if I don't give you the package that's going to serve the outcome you need for the size of business and the industry and everything like that, I could undersell. Like I could sell you a $2,000 a month package when to you that doesn't matter. Like there's no way it's going to provide enough lead gen to help the established business. It might be $5-10 grand a month, something like that. Or they're going to sell what they like to sell and not what you actually need. Or what's easy, to take the
it's super
quick money.
This works. This works for the last client. Yeah, easy. Because salespeople, I mean, there are great salespeople, and I think there are a lot of salespeople that will just work to the lowest common denominator. Yeah. If it's easy to sell you this, I think you need it. In fact, I really think you need it. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to size up whether this is a true consultative selling process or it's a disguised consultative selling process. It's true consultative. Yeah, come in with the budget and the outcome and see.
I mean, if they have a fake mustache on and glasses, then it's probably fake.
With the big nose.
With the big nose.
All right, so when you're setting the budget, it's easy to not put enough money there. And this obviously sounds self-serving, but so take my direct mail out of it and use like a pay-per-click agency or something. You need to consider the lifetime value of the customer, not just the upfront transactional value. Media is expensive. Acquisition's expensive. It's only getting more so across all media right now. So we got to make sure that we are looking at the long-term value we're going to get from acquiring the customer, set the budget accordingly. Sometimes that is a break even. Sometimes it's even a loss on the upfront transaction. So important that we know that. And, okay, we get it back in month 2. Okay, how many of those can we sustain? What's the budget for that, et cetera? You need to know how often or your frequency on stuff, or direct mail, it's how often we mail, but it's frequency on online metrics. We need to know if we're testing or if we're scaling. So, okay, we haven't done anything before. Is this a test budget? And a test means something different to different people. In direct mail world, a test to some clients can mean 500, and to other clients it can mean 25,000. Mm-hmm. So again, you come, you say you want to test. I hear that. But if I don't have a budget, I don't even know what we're playing. I don't even know what game we're playing. And then the cash flow considerations, just your tolerance for not only the risk, but the timing of return on that. So,
Yep.
By all means, have the budget. I mean, don't say I have to spend this in the next 2 weeks. So don't be stupid about it. But it is an important piece of the puzzle to get to the right outcome. All right, so now we got budget, we got the outcome we want. Now we got to understand what on earth we're buying.
Oh,
and good from bad.
So many things.
But I give you the examples here.
Yeah.
Because we're a direct mail company, right? Mm-hmm. It's not exactly sure what that means. It means different things to different people. So
you put stamps on stuff and send it out. Isn't that what you do?
Sure.
Yeah.
But
print postcards.
But is that what people are buying? It depends. So we have different service offerings, and this is true of other media as well. So are you buying strategy help or just the execution? So the execution is
that's a really good. That's a great distinction because so many marketing people now will help you with everything. We'll help you figure out the theory behind it and what your stuff. Then they may not have any idea. And I suppose as a small business owner, if I own the little mom and pop bakery, unless you are so slimy that the grease is when I shake your hand, if you sound like you know what you're talking about, your people are gonna buy into it, and they can lead you astray because you're not sure.
Yeah, but most people never ask.
Yeah,
they don't understand what pieces there or not. And you can buy either, by the way. You can buy the tactical execution, or you can buy the strategy alone, or you can buy them all together. Mm-hmm. But you need to know what you're getting, what that price includes. Yeah, if you're looking for both of those here, and you're mailing a very small quantity, I'm probably not going to even offer the strategy because there's finite resources there regardless of how much you want to pay for it.
Yeah.
Are you paying for the creative versus the production? So, graphic design and copywriting versus, again, printing, or in pay-per-click world, it's the ad setup on the platforms. Are you paying for media costs or management fees? Okay.
I mean,
I pay this.
Exhausting.
I pay this. Yeah, but if you ignore any of these, you're just getting hosed.
I'm just saying.
I pay $1,000 a month to the pay-per-click company. That's the management fee. Now I got to pay the ad spend on Facebook, Google, everything else.
Yep.
Or is it all bundled together? And if it's bundled together, you better have some clue what the ad spend is.
Yeah.
Or my goal.
Yeah, you got to have an idea and ask the right questions, because if it's all bundled together, the less hands in the pot, the more you really need to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Not that you don't anyway, but if you don't ask the right questions and it's all bundled together, you stand a much bigger chance of things not going correctly.
Well, or you're not maximizing your investment. We'll say that. So if I'm in the agency world and I am under this all-in-one type pricing model, my goal is to get your outcome as cheaply as possible from a delivery standpoint, keep you happy, keep you around.
Yeah.
But maybe you were entitled to more and could have got better results for the same price. You don't know if you don't ask.
Okay. And
then finally, what's a one-time expense? What's an ongoing cost? So if we have a bunch of this creative stuff, guess what? All the work's up front.
Yeah.
And this is the way a lot of agencies work. The real work is the onboarding of that new client. And sometimes we even lose money, and then we recoup it over time when it gets easier hitting repeat and just testing and splitting things. So make sure you understand, what's being included there. And then the agencies get mad in like a year when you bring that thing in house that they weren't doing anymore anyway. You know, we see this all the time. Rip-offs to look out for, just tactics without strategy behind them. Yeah, I can do that for you. Yeah, I can put that ad online. Yeah, sure. I can build that funnel.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if we haven't done it into the strategy, you're gonna get ripped off. The opposite's true as well. Sometimes you find a really smart provider that they're all strategy and they're all plan.
Mm-hmm.
And you buy a plan.
Yep.
And then you have to figure out how to implement said plan, or that's like step 2 where they make their real money.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to have a model similar to that, so I'm not knocking the model, but you know, for a few grand, we came out and built a plan, and then we would bid out the execution of that plan for you. So it was all front and center, but you need to make sure you understand what you're getting. So you got to figure out, you know, what's supposed to happen every month, what's reused, what's one-time cost. Also, what is your role in the relationship as the buyer?
What are you responsible for?
What is the commitment in this?
Yeah.
So I was on the receiving side of a sales call today for it's toting the line between mastermind and coaching group, essentially.
Did your chatbot get you to that?
No.
Claude said, "Here, this is for you."
It didn't know. It would have just bought it.
Yeah, that's true. Would have just spent it.
But they requested 20 hours a month of execution time on my part. I know I don't have 20 hours a month.
That's a significant amount, yeah.
But they were very clear on that. So
that allowed you to help make a decision. If you didn't know that, you thought, well, maybe it's 5 hours a month. And then you get into it and you're like, you need how many hours a week?
Yeah, no, I have zero interest in that right now. They will get my money in the future.
Okay.
So that's win-win.
Because you'll have more time, or they will eventually find a way to do it for you?
It's absolutely a calendar timing issue.
All right.
And they were smart enough to hone into when that timing may be as well. So we'll see if they follow up. I asked them if they had a tag in their CRM system for guy won't follow the drill. And
he's like asking the question, like, are you going to get back to me when I want to do business with you? I mean, that's amazing because
we get to laugh about it because there was no strategy or there's no follow-up sequence.
Every time you buy something, it could be lights on your house, and
there's a lesson in it.
And we're talking, and I'm like, how, like, because I know you well enough, like, when you're going to buy something, you're going to buy it. You've already done like, I want to put these lights, these Christmas lights on my house. You're going to make me jump through hoops you're actually not going to call me back or come out for an estimate?
So this one was pretty early in the process. You're right. Usually I research everything. In this case, they had an event coming up pretty soon in the future. So I'm like, all right, let's just, I'll be able to diagnose this quicker with talking to them than I will doing all my research. So ChatGPT got me a little bit, and then it failed a little bit. So, all right. So that is the understand what you're paying for. Man, we got a lot of content in this one.
There's a lot here, yeah.
All right. But it's all super important. Probably we can turn this into like a report or something. How not to get ripped off.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the red flags, the do not swim flags. Sorry, I'm still in Costa Rica on vacation right now.
I actually reread your this is going to be the longest episode ever, but at some point, we don't have to do it today, but I do want to hear stories about driving through a country in the dark with no GPS. I reread that email like 3 days later. I'm like,
No, I had GPS because I downloaded the Google Maps. There was no cell service.
Oh, there was no cell service.
So
okay.
I was smart enough to download the maps before I landed in the country.
Because your trip home was significantly not what you thought it was going to be. And
now that probably would have been an easier episode to record. We'll put that one in the mix.
But I was fascinated about driving through a country you've never been
driving through wildfire at night in the dark on shitty roads. That was a good one.
That's a good way to end the vacation.
Anytime you experience some adversity in your life, it makes good marketing fodder. So
true.
All right, red flags for agencies. Number one, we talked about guaranteed ROI.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just doesn't make logical sense now. Too good to be true. No contract.
I mean, that's
handshake deals.
Seems like a no-brainer. We'll call you.
Surprise.
No, I wouldn't be actually. Yeah.
If it ends in give me your credit card number, and then that's kind of where it stops.
Yeah.
The other one that you have to flesh out a little better is no clear process. So if an agency has been down this road a lot of times, they've developed a process. They
know
have to succeed.
The onboarding.
And if you're not sensing that, guess what? You're the researcher.
Because
you're the
does that lead to the whole, well, don't worry about that. We'll get it later. We'll figure it out. Trust us.
Yeah.
We'll get you.
They will.
Yeah.
It's going to be, well, they might if they're good, but it'll be very roundabout and it'll be expensive.
Be expensive.
Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go, right? No talk of testing. So, this is our proven way, our one and only way. Now, I will tell you, when we get a winner, we do not want to change the damn thing. But if we are not there yet,
when you get a winner, though, did you stop testing entirely, or will you test more later?
You should test still.
Okay.
But if we're getting results and we have a budget allocation question, oftentimes it's just spend it on the thing that's working.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Makes sense.
We'll deal with future problems in the future. No tracking method or no clear method of tracking. More difficult in some media than others. Ours being one that's particularly difficult, but online attribution, as our former guest had on here, also getting very difficult. And then finally, if they can't explain why something works.
It just works.
Yep.
What do you want? Give me your money.
That to me says rookie sales rep, but
I just know it works. You got to trust me here.
yeah, you got to trust these testimonials. And
What's the worst that can happen? It won't work. I mean, come on. I think you're going to be fine.
That's the gambling, right?
I really think you're going to be okay.
Yeah, so figure out what they're talking about. Are they talking about results and outcomes, or are they talking about tools, tactics, and things they're going to implement?
This is an episode I think that everyone is going to want to go back and listen to more than once or twice, because there's a lot of nuggets in here that you'll hear it the second or third time.
Yeah, typically we would stretch this out to 6 episodes, but we
Yes.
have a lot of guests coming up in the next month.
We do.
So you're getting it all condensed.
It's a white paper coming. I can see it.
I think so. We'll see how the AI does. All right, so here is your one question to wrap this all up with the potential agency. This is what they should be asking you, but probably are not.
Okay.
They should be saying, what does success look like in the first 60, 90 days?
Okay. And if they don't, that's the big red flag.
Yeah, because if you haven't defined it, and look, we're guilty of this too.
Yeah.
Like, my sales reps don't always ask that. They're like, yeah, I know that these things work.
And if as a
this is what
business
we
owner,
typically do.
I can't answer it right away, is it their job to then just dive in a little deeper? I mean,
Yeah,
even if you go through all this stuff we just talked about, I should be able to answer that.
Yeah, one of two things is going on. If there's no clarity on that, it's either I'm taking your money and I'm just on autopilot, or you're just gonna get what you get. Or it's just so transactional and not relational.
Yeah.
And what it does when you don't have that question, and this is something I train internally too, again, guilty, but if they haven't established that and say they sell 90 days of service, they have no idea if we're getting retained again past that, if we're not under contract past that.
It's like having to start the sales process all over again.
Yeah.
Because
and
you don't know.
You have no idea the score.
Yeah.
We don't know how to win the game. We don't know what game we're playing. That's kind of silly.
And the
to play.
score, the winning score has to be determined by the client, not by the salesperson.
Yeah, I mean, we can suggest.
You can help. You're right. You can suggest, but at the end of the day, there has to be some kind of
leads, phone calls, appointments. Like, what? How many do you need? Like, because if we come back and you tell me that 2 clients is like a slam dunk because they're high value, and then it comes contract renewal time, and we got you 4, and you don't renew, I'm mad.
Yeah.
Like, no, we won.
Yeah, that's true.
One of 2 things should happen right now. Either we renew or we increase the spend because it's working so well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true.
So clear milestones, reasonable expectations. Reasonable is the next one. So if you tell us something stupid, it's up to the agency to tell you that's stupid.
I want 1 million leads.
Yeah. What the data points are going to be, how often we're adjusting. So, if you're running ads, how often are we trying things? Not just, you're going to dominate your industry and you're going to lock out your competitor. There's a lot of things you could play to ego on with business owners.
Yeah.
TV advertising. I'd love to see yourself on TV or the billboard.
I like to see that's right. We all know certain industries where they like to be on billboards. Call me right now if you've been in an accident.
I don't know if that's industry specific.
I don't know, but how many billboards the bigger the city, when I go to Chicago to visit my daughter, It's like, I mean, if I get in an accident,
Are you talking about a personal injury attorney firm?
I am. If I get in an accident on the way to Chicago, I have at least half a dozen people I can call.
Yeah, that's
and I probably get in an accident because I'm writing their phone number down on the interstate.
Yeah, it should have been like 888-888. So no, I mean that's unfortunately one of those branding timing plays you have to be the first thought of. So
Yeah.
it's an expensive game to play.
888 the hammer.
I'm sure it's a real one.
I'm sure it is.
All right, let's talk about some other outcomes of this real quick before we wrap up. So you know your outcome, but you need to know like tactically what you're getting as well. So at the end of this, all said and done, are we going to have long-term marketing assets we can use forever, regardless of relationship with said agency? Or are we doing quick win, short-term hits as soon as we turn off the ad, all the benefits over of it? Again, no right or wrong, but you need to know what you're playing. So if we're sending like newsletters, that should be a buildup. That's an asset. You can use it over. You can actually recycle the content after a couple of years too if you want. Referral systems, they continue to pay off over time. It's not something that it's, buy now and you got your sham wow and it's all over. It's
Now
like
in 3 new colors.
The quick hits are like the ads, the one-off campaigns, like, here's the Cinco de Mayo special, which was successful in the wedding industry, but you probably never saw that postcard.
I don't think I saw that one. I remember the 4th of July. Like
It had me in a sombrero. I don't know if we'd run it anymore, but back then it was fun.
Because the sombrero doesn't fit anymore or what?
I think it might have been after my wedding in Mexico or something, so I had a picture.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. That might be one I haven't seen.
Yeah, and we gave them like 5,000 pesos off or something, and we translated that to dollars.
Nice. Here's $50.
It wasn't a lot, but it was fun. It got attention. It was a fun one. So make sure you have, if you don't, make sure you know you're not. But ideally, you have some sort of longer-term marketing asset here. And then you layer on the ads on top of that so that when you're out there hunting, the ads are farming, and we have sales and marketing and hunters and farmers and animals going 2 by 2 in harmony. And, that's when things start looking up.
That sounds like an app
Sounds like
I can play over lunch.
Sounds like a Disney plot.
No kidding.
All right, and here is my final one, which I alluded to at the beginning.
Yes.
Which was, we hired so-and-so, they're handling it. I've outsourced my marketing department.
Yeah.
We used to sell something called virtual marketing department.
Really?
But if you let us do everything, that was a huge mistake, and I don't think anyone did. They were involved in it. We were more the execution branch, but we hear this more often than you would think. I got a big event coming up. I hired this Facebook agency, and they're just doing everything. I spent a ton of money. They're a big name brand. They know what they're doing. Completely hands off. That is a gamble.
Yeah.
I hope to God it works out.
Yeah, that's a big gamble.
But when you tell me that, I'm like, oh my God, you got taken. So you need to approve the messaging. You need to own compliance for making sure it's within your industry mandates. You need to track results or be able to log in to get them. And you decide what scales, what gets used more and what doesn't based on that.
So many things to take notes on. You have to listen to this episode again and again.
Can we put a PDF in the show notes?
I think we could. It might work.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
So no, you need clear roles, clear approvals, clear expectations, contract that lays it out. Not silly guarantees, realistic guarantees, and you need to just be looking at whether or not that's working as time goes on. Otherwise, you're going to get eaten alive in the marketing jungle. Some of the best snakes are in the marketing world.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
They really are. So, recap real quick. When buying marketing, start with your goal before you ever fill out a lead form anywhere. Next, set your budget for that goal. What can you afford to spend to get the goal that you put out there? Finally, demand clarity in what you're getting, what you're not getting, who's supposed to do what, all that fun stuff. Avoid ridiculous guarantees, we'll call them. Anything that is too good to be true probably is. Build long-term assets and think long-term about the entire thing rather than random acts of one-hit marketing. And you will not get eaten alive in the marketing jungle.
One-hit marketing wonders.
Yep, I call them random acts of marketing.
There you go. Like boy bands.
And then we wonder why the cash flow is like a roller coaster.
Yeah, I think the big thing we learned there is that as an owner, you have some responsibility. You cannot just say, take care of this for me.
No, you can't. Even if you have a staff member that's in charge of it, you really can't. You still got to look at the scorecard and the outcomes and help. So there we go. If you want to help out with that, you want us to second guess someone else. If you bring me a good example, I'll happy to look at it. Thankfully, we only sell direct mail. So if you're curious about the other half of your marketing, I'm happy to look and give you an armchair quarterback opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. But no, reach out to us. Heck, if you're a current client and we're not serving you in one of these capacities,
here we go.
Get back in touch with your account exec and let's set some clarity around that, because it allows us to serve you better. It really does. It allows your dollar to go further when we know what we're trying to accomplish with it. And we'll leave it at that, because I believe, other than when we've released like webinar type stuff as episodes, this is the longest, most in-depth podcast.
This may be the longest ever.
So there we go. We're starting the year strong. By December, we're going to have 5-hour podcasts.
Thanks for listening to the Triceratops podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave your comments. For more information on how Jurassic Marketing Direct Mail can help grow your business, visit JurassicMarketing.com.